is the most energetic, hard-working massage therapist I know. He runs a clinic full-time. He's created all kinds of business materials to help your business grow. He is what you need to visit to help you become successful, and he's going to get you excited much better than I can. So I'm going to give him the mic. Here you go, buddy.
Thank you, Brian.
That works better.
See, here's the thing. You guys have some subconscious thoughts about learning. You believe learning can be boring. I believe learning can be fun. How's that? Okay. So I'm going to take you through raw PowerPoint. This is Morris. You should know about Morris, one of my favorite cats, one of many cats. Morris has grown up, learns bad things from the dog. And then Morris has got himself a girlfriend now. He's really good. Anyway, what I want to talk to you about, because we're all in healthcare, and here's the thing. As a massage therapist, when I first got into massage, I couldn't make an darn living. Could not make a darn living. And I couldn't understand why some of these women on my table would go to a male gynecologist. No problem. No problem. I knew other people that didn't like people because of their color or their background or whatever, but their doctor could be that color. Their specialist could have that accent, and it's okay. Does this make sense to you? Have you ever heard of situations like this? Yeah. So I'm thinking, what's going on? It's subconscious. I realize people subconsciously are brainwashed on what they should expect from their healthcare provider. And this is because what had happened is I had been in the healthcare system. I went down the road. I was scheduled for surgery. I was taking all the medications that they told me to take. I was brainwashed, I finally realized. And then I got into massage, couldn't make a living, and I'm thinking, what's the problem? It's how I present it. See, when people go to their healthcare provider, they subconsciously expect certain things to take place when they go there. You know, from the time we're a small child, there's all this assessment taking place with instruments. They're taking measurements on us, right? Right or wrong? Yeah, they're looking at us all the time, you know, and then even if we didn't plan on it, they're going to take a picture today. Not only are they going to take a picture, you're going to pay for it. Right? Then they're going to even turn around and talk to you about it, like you understand. Right? And then they're going to tell you how you're going to come back and pay them more. We all laugh, but it's true. It's really true. So you got to stop and think about your patients who have the neck pain, the back pain, all this pain that they're suffering with. And what did they do? They ran through, something happened. They finally got so tired they called their doctor. And then they went in and they sat for the appointment, right? Yeah, and then they got moved in the back. Certain things always happen, right? They take your weight all the time. They take your blood pressure, even if it's not relevant, it seems like. Right? They take certain measures. Then you sit in the exam room. Wonder what's in drawer number 3. Right? You get close to drawer number 3, the door opens, right? I know. And then they look in your mouth, right? They look in your ear. Stop and think about it. Even though you got the cold, like, I don't need you to look in. I know what's wrong, right? I just need you to get out of here already. I've already looked at door number 3. Okay. I just need you to sign a prescription in door number 2. Okay. But this is what happens from the time we're little children. There are certain things that could happen when we go to a healthcare provider, and then in the end, you know, there's certain things they're told, here are your options, you got medications, therapy, if that doesn't work, they'll start to do some imaging. And then whether the imaging shows anything or not, the people get a report of findings. Very official. We put it up and we show the person a picture. I could never understand why people would come to me and they would just come like 1 time or 2 times, but they tell me how they have been going to some other healthcare provider for years, many times, a couple times a week. And I go, why? What is drawing you to continue? Well, they showed me how my atlas, my C2 is out. Have you ever heard things like this? The people saw a picture at one time. Okay, so I thought, okay, well, that's right. Very official when the doctor goes over something with a picture. And whether it's right or wrong, people typically are told, here are your options. Take the medications. If it gets bad enough, you come back and we'll do surgery. You ever hear these types of things? So the people are frustrated, but they've got subconscious expectations for how it works in the doctor's office or how it works with a healthcare provider. So the question is, how are you as a massage therapist going to deliver what the public expects? Because I got to tell you, when I got out of massage school, I was prepared with a lot of knowledge and information. I just didn't know how to apply it in a way that the rest of the world wanted to hear it. And then I realized what I needed to do, or what we need to do, is educate people about the muscular component of their pain. So my question is, what's your game plan? What is your game plan for making a living now? The game plan was to go to school. Game plan was to get the license. Game plan was to find a job. Kind of nebulous, but, like we were talking earlier, when Heather was up, how many massages do you need at the end of the week to pay the bills? If it's not massages, what else are we going to sell while we're in the treatment room? So what is your strategy? Because if you don't have a plan, I'll tell you, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. There's a few reasons why therapists don't make it in the industry. And a big part is they don't plan. You've got to have a plan. And you've got to have a way, because how are you going to communicate? Are you going to talk to them like an old radio? Right? Not like an MP3 player, but like an old radio, right? At the same time, you can't be so technical on them that you lose them. Because I have these therapists that would talk to me so technical that it's like they were trying to explain to me that the radius and the diameter and the circumference, and it's like I don't understand one darn word you're talking about, but I smile and shake my head. Right? And then a book. How often does the doctor go into the other room and get a book and come in and look at it, You'd think the doctor doesn't know what they're talking about, right? They have to look it up. So you have to have systems to communicate. Communicate about the body. Communicate how it's a whole body, how there are muscles, and those muscles are moved by bones. And that there are all these systems. There are these nervous systems. There are fascial systems. There are digestive systems. All the systems work together. It's not that magical. But what we need to do is we need to create balance for people, what they call homeostasis, right? Because when we look at someone's posture and a shoulder's high or a head's forward, it's only because some muscles are too yin and some are too yang. Does that make sense? Same muscles on the right that you have on the left, same bones on the left that you have on the right. If it's not in balance and everything's basically the same size, what moved the structure? And if you explain it to a way with people, you're affecting them on all types of levels when you're affecting them structurally. But it's how we present our information to them, because we only have a few minutes, They come for first aid, and you've only got so much time, they've only got so much money, and you got to capitalize on it, right? Because there's the treatment, then there's the things that you could sell them during treatment, or that you could add on. So you got to have some good systems to assess. And look at, from the time someone's coming in, we're subtly always showing them different ways that we can make more money, but we can help them. Does that make sense? We're going to constantly be introducing different products and information to them. And then I need systems that even keep me focused, because I can't remember from the time I took you from the front to the treatment room, and you came, was it the right shoulder or the left shoulder I was supposed to work on? Some of you are giggling because you can know, you just can't, right? Right? Can't even remember their name. So I have to fill out a paper where they write their name on the top, I can remember it, they mark the shoulder up. Does this make sense? And then they take it into, look at from one month to another, can you tell the people if the person's getting better? I can send that to a doctor, I can fax that to a doctor, I don't even need to write a report, they can tell the patient's getting better. I didn't draw that, your patient did. But you see, once I get into the treatment room, I can take a little paper, stick it in its place, and then I can remember when they're face up or face down, which shoulder it was. You ever do that? You know, you're thinking, okay, it's standing, it's this way, it's that way, right? They're face down, and they don't even know you're doing this whole little thing. So you guys laugh because it's true. Okay, so you got to have different systems to evaluate the person, to educate them, to take them through real quickly on how you're going to, I mean, doesn't this make sense? The only difference is you're not going to run around the corner and push a button and go, you know, with the whole LED thing on them. How many of you have cameras with a cell phone with a camera in it? Raise your hands up real high. You've got the instrument you need to do this type of assessment. This isn't software, it's a picture. A picture's worth 1,000 words, and when you go over the picture with your patient, it's no different in that person's mind than you going over the X-ray. Does that make sense? It's no different than you revealing all the little subtle things that the doctor would. And in their head, you are the doctor. It's how you present it, and it's how you have it laid out. So what I realized very quickly is it didn't matter what color the therapist was, what age the therapist was, what weight the therapist was, how the therapist talked, is if we laid out the information and brought it to people in a very clear, reasonable way. Because a picture, I can say to the patient, can you tell that your ear is in front of the line? And they can see that very easily. Like this guy comes in with a bad pain in his right knee. But when I show him how low his shoulder is, he gets it real quickly, doesn't he? He understands why his neck hurts. All of these, a picture's worth what? 1,000 words. So, bottom line, they held the sign up. I've got to get out of the way here. But in the end, you've got to have quick systems to educate the people. Stop by and see us. Go to my website, kenhealth.com. We've got 30 different articles there. Lots of little YouTube clips that are only 30 seconds long to a minute long that will tell you about how to communicate with your clients and how to build your practice. So again, my name's David Kent. I want to say thank you and I wish you lots of success.